guys! Today is Monday, December 29th, and welcome to episode 22 of Knits and Stuff. My name is Alicia, and today I'll be talking about finished objects, works in progress, pretty things, local delights, and wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. But first, welcome to those of you that are new, and for those of you that are returning watchers, thanks for coming back. If you haven't already, there's a group on Ravelry that you can join. It's called Knits and Stuff Podcast, and I'll put a link in the show notes, which you can find at knitsandstuff.wordpress.com. So let's get started. I got a lot of knitting done the past few weeks or so while I was on vacation, and I have one finished object out of all of that knitting, and it is the Tombrek hat by Isolde Teague, and this is knit on US 7s and 6s, and that's 4 and 4.5 millimeters, and this is Freya hand paints in one of their Ombro worsted weight in the colorway Lichen, and I have a little tag. And I knit this really quickly in like a span of a couple days, and it's pretty much done. I don't know, I probably need to like block it a little bit, or at least soak it, and I still have to weave in the ends. But it's pretty much done. And it was a really quick knit and really fun. And this skein comes in 127 yards, and the pattern calls for 160 yards for the hat. So I was playing some major yarn chicken on here, but luckily I didn't quite need 160, and I had this much yarn left for that. So luckily I was able to get just enough to finish and bind off for the hat. So that is my finished object, and I still have some of the same works in progress. I am pretty much done with the Twigs and Willows cardigan, but I still have to sew the sleeves on. So I'm gonna do that and hopefully get to show it next time. And then I am working on, let's see, the basic knee-high toe-up socks by Leslie, and I didn't really make, I think I made like a couple rows of progress on this now that everything's all tangled. Yeah, because I think this is where I was last time, and I just knit a few rows on it. I mainly worked on some other projects, but yeah, so not much done on that, but I do have the Dark Side of the Moon socks, and I made some progress on this, like a couple inches. So that is where I was last time, and I got a good number of rows done on the first sock. And this is also starting with the toe-up socks with a difference, and on US 1 it's 2.25 millimeters, and it's mustache yarn, perfect sock in the Dark Side of the Moon colorway. So, and the other one is the Sesame colorway, pretty much the same stuff. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to make these, if I'm going to make them knee-highs or not. So we'll see. I'll decide later. And then I talked about this one last time. I had to frog it because it was too small, and I recast it on the airplane. But this is the Bristol hat by Amy Christophers, and it is knit on US 1s and 3s, that's 2.25 millimeters, and I forget what the 3s are. I didn't write that part down. And the yarn is Madeline Tosh in merino light in a neon lot A colorway. And so I added another repeat so that I think another 12, I think the stitch repeat is like 12 stitches long, maybe 16, I think it's 16. And so I added another 16, wait, no, 15? 18? I think it's 18. So I added another 18 stitches so that it would fit around my head. And I think it's still going to be a little tight, but we'll see. And that's the, I can't really see the chevron pattern too much, but yeah, that's that. Oh, and while I was on vacation, I didn't bring any stitch markers with me, so I had to go to Walmart, because that's all there was, and I was gonna buy the stitch markers because they supposedly had just the clover stitch markers there, but they didn't have any at this Walmart, so I had to buy some beading supplies and make my own stitch markers. So that's what I did, is I made these little tiny stitch markers with a little bead on them. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, and I think that's all I have for works in progress. So that brings us to pretty things. And I don't have any stash acquisitions, but I did buy a book at Barnes & Noble when I was on vacation, and it is called Plenty More by Yadam Ottolenghi. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But it is the follow-up to the other book that he wrote, Plenty, and it is a cookbook. I bought it because, well, so my friend has his cookbook Jerusalem, and then I've flipped through his stuff before, and the pictures are all really pretty. The recipes look pretty good, although they have a lot of ingredients in them. But and then I saw this at Barnes & Noble, and it's also a signed copy, so that was exciting. I figured I should grab it because I've never been able to snag a signed copy of a book before. I've never even seen it at any of my bookstores, but so yeah, so I picked this up, and I kind of I have a couple of pictures flagged that I'll show you, but the book is basically divided into different ways of prepping vegetables, so it's a completely vegetarian cookbook, but I think a lot of the recipes you could probably add meat to pretty easily if you wanted to. But he has different sections, and this is where autofocus would be nice. Different sections of how to prepare the vegetables, and so the recipes are broken up like that. And then so just to show a couple that looked really good, there's a Brussels sprout risotto that has a full page spread on it, and that looked really tasty. And then there is a quinoa porridge with grilled tomatoes and garlic that also has a full page spread and sounds really good. And there is a sweet and sour leeks with goat's curd and currants, and that looks amazing. And I like leeks and goat cheese, and yeah, it looks good. And then at the end there's also some sweet recipes, and these are the black currant friands. And that also has a full page spread, if I can open up to the next one. Yeah, so those look really good. It just has some amazing food photography and makes you want to eat all of it. So I'm excited to try something from here. I haven't tried anything yet, But if I do, I will let you guys know if you guys are interested in hearing about recipes. But yeah, that is my pretty things for this episode. So that brings us to Local Delight. There is a burger place that opened up a few blocks away from where we are. It is in the Gilman district of Berkeley, and it's called Farm Burger. And I think they are based in North Carolina and Georgia, and they have a couple locations out in the south, but this looks like their first West Coast location, so that's exciting. And they focus a lot on grass-fed beef, and are, I think, very conscious of where they're sourcing their food from. So that's always good, and their burgers are delicious. You can build your own burger, and they also have specials that are the regular combos. So what I got the first time was their number one, and it was the beef burger with Tillamook white cheddar, caramelized onions, and farm burger sauce. So they have a special sauce. And it was really good. And they also have fries, sweet potato fries, milkshakes, root beer floats. I think they have a couple of beers on draft, and yeah, stuff for kids. Oh, the one in Berkeley has this little kids play area next to the tables, so if you have to bring your kids to the restaurant, they have something to do when they're done eating so they don't get bored. So yeah, it's a pretty nice place and in a good location, and I definitely want to go back there. So if you're in the Berkeley area and looking for another burger place besides Barney's, Farm Burger is definitely a good choice. So yeah, that is it for Local Delights, which brings us to Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey. And there was one new episode since the last time we talked, the Christmas special, and it was called Last Christmas. And yeah, so spoilers. I will be talking about the little Christmas special of Doctor Who, and I'll put a little spoilers thing here if you don't want to hear about it. It's a pretty standalone episode though, kind of, so if you don't watch Doctor Who, or you haven't been keeping up and kind of just want to watch the Christmas special, it does pick up, well, it does spoil, I guess, like the end of the season, but you could probably watch it without having to know anything about Clara and the Doctor. So yeah, so last Christmas, Clara wakes up to find Santa on her roof, and the Doctor comes by and grabs her, and then they go to some base where there's a crew doing research on something that they never really fully describe, and there are these dream crabs that have attached on to a couple of the crew members, and they basically create this dream state while they're eating your mind. So it turns out that that all of them were kind of in this dream state together and trying to figure it out, and they were kind of a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. And so all they had to do was wake up before the dream, or rather than succumbing to the dream, and that would get the dream crab off of you without eating your brain. So it was really interesting. I thought it was a good episode. Clara and the Doctor kind of cleared up some of the lies they told in the very beginning, or the lies that they told each other in the season finale. They kind of cleared them up in the beginning of this episode, so that was good. And it was really interesting the way that they set up the dreams and being able to link different people in different parts of the world that are getting dream crab eaten and then kind of put them into the same dream together. So that was pretty interesting, and yeah, it was a good story. I liked it. Yeah, not too many complaints. We got to see Danny again, so that was sweet and kind of sad. And it was kind of sad how Clara didn't really want to leave her dream because of everything that she's lost. But yeah, it was a good episode though. I liked it. So that's pretty much all that I have for Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, and I guess it's a short episode this week because the sun is slowly going down already. Oh my goodness. And yeah, holidays, everything's kind of crazy, but should be back to regular schedule hopefully. Yeah, so not this Friday, but next Friday hopefully I'll have another episode out, or next, at least that weekend. Yeah, so I think that is it for today. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I'm wearing a cowl that I knit a while ago, which I have on my project page somewhere, but yeah, I don't think I had a pattern for this one. I think I just knit in a circle because it was some pretty much like art yarn. Anyway, social media stuff. I am Eliana Knits on Ravelry and Perfect529 on Twitter and Instagram, Pinterest, everything else. And don't forget about the podcast group on Ravelry. And yeah, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay, bye!